Hey guys, welcome to Girls Frontline 2, and let's discover which of our girls has the best ability to break stability. We are starting off with Groza here. Her basic attack has an above average stability damage. It is at 4. Definitely one of the best basic attacks that we have. Next is going to be her stability damage for her first active skill, which is 5 for heavy suppression. Take note that this ability also restores her stability if this causes stability break, which is a nice, reverse of fortunes, as you may say. Next is going to be her ultimate. Okay, so this is an ultimate AoE debuff. So stability damage is going to be 4. This has nice range as well because this is going to be for 7 tiles of the user to launch an attack, dealing AoE damage. Again, the numbers for the stability damage for Groza's kit is actually ridiculous. And the last is going to be her passive. It's going to be a passive buff, debuff, counter attack. This one is going to be more of the counter attack side. So if an enemy within 6 tiles deals targeted damage to an allied unit, Groza launches a counter attack, dealing physical damage to 80% of the attack to them, as well as 4 points of stability damage. Again, guys, her kit is ridiculous. So that is around 4 skills that can deal a lot of stability damage. Next up, we have Ksenia, and let's go to her basic attack. So we have 3 stability damage for her basic attack, which is again above average and also fantastic for her kit. Next is going to be her first active skill. It's going to be stability damage 2, but if you check out the abilities for Flammable, so Flammable also takes out or has stability damage. While taking burn damage, increases stability damage by 2 points. And the attacker recovers 2 points of stability index. And also, if you can see here, if under the effect of 2 or more buffs, perform an additional attack on the original target, dealing burn damage equal to 75% of attack and 2 stability damage as well. Again, this is a very, very good debuff that you usually use with QJ. Next is going to be her ultimate. So her ultimate is or has stability damage of 5. Again, this is a big damage, which this is also being used before you use the active 1 skill, which is going to be favorable cycle. So this is a nice combo in terms of her skills. This one is going to be a lot more stability damage. And the last one is going to be her passive. Okay, so when the unit receives targeted damage from an allied unit, prioritizing performing 1 instance of action support, dealing physical damage to 80% and 3 stability damage to enemy unit, and applies Blazing Assault, in which case to the allied unit for 2 turns. This can be triggered once per turn when the effects of heat recovery stability damage is increased by 1 point. Again, another nice passive to have. Next up, guys, we have here Sharkry. Sharkry does have a lot going for her kit. We'll start off with her Neural Helix. So once you open up her Neural Helix, especially if you claim this one, so this is thermal feedback. This one is going to give you an additional 2 points of stability damage when an enemy target is within range and is affected by overburn, performs instance of Y support, dealing physical damage of 80% and attack and 2 points of stability damage. The next one is going to be belonging to her fortification. So as you open up her copies of her or add copies of her, definitely you will give her more stability damage. So this one, if a kill is scored, gains additional stack of Zoom In. So Zoom In is increased damage dealt by 15 and increased stability damage by 2 points. So this is going to be stacking up. And the next one for her fortification is going to be S6 or V6. So at the start of an action, gains 1 stack of zoom in. Again, this is very valuable because you don't need to trigger zoom in. It's going to be out as soon as we start the battle. Okay, with those out of the way, we will go to her active skill 1. So active skill 1 has a stability damage of 3. Definitely, if the user has it under the effects of zoom in, increase stability damage by 1. So this one, aside from zoom in, has another add-on of 1. And the next one is going to be her active skill 2. This one has a stability damage of 3. Select one enemy target 8 health, dealing physical damage to 150 of attack. This unit gains zoom in as well. So again, her kit revolves around the buff, which is going to be zoom in, which can again give you additional stability damage to this skill. Okay, and also flammable is here. So when taking burn damage, increase stability taken by 2 points. So definitely going to be a nice addition to your burn team, just in case you wanna, you wanna focus on a burn team. And let's move to the last skill that has a pair with our stability damage, which is again zoom in. So this one gives you a stack of zoom in. This is the ultimate buff and gains you an additional command. Commands other than movement can be executed. So again, her kit revolves around a lot of zoom in and additions for stability damage. Next up, we do have Tololo, and we proceed with her A1, and next up is going to be A2. So both of A1 and A2 skills for Tololo only give stability damage. No other traits involved or no other extras involved in terms of stability damage. But her A1 deals stability damage 3, and her A2 deals stability damage 3 as well, which is really above average. While her ultimate skill is going to have a stability damage of 4. So again, a very, very nice escalation in terms of stability damage. And what is actually good for Tololo is going to be her passive. So fills Confectance Index to maximum at the start of the battle. After attacking, if Confectance Index is at max, consumes all of it and gains 1 instance of extra action. The extra action is what makes her deadly in terms of stability and attack, because she could really take down a tough opponent right on the first turn, especially with additional extra action. Before I proceed with our last character, we do have QJ here, and we will be starting off with her active skill, or first active skill, which has a 3 stability damage, which is again above average, and nothing special in terms of the traits. This is also applicable with her A2. Also stability damage, nothing more in terms of additional stability damage in the trait as well. But if you take a look at her passive is going to be doing all of the stability damage. So gains 1 point of Confectance Index each time after dealing damage. Increase damage dealt to targets not under the protection of cover by 10%. When an enemy unit within range receives targeted damage from an ally, performs 1 instance of action support, dealing physical damage to 90% of the attack and 2 stability damage. This effect can be triggered up to 3 times per turn. So that is actually an additional maximum of an additional 6 stability damage that this girl can deal for her passive. Again, this is what makes her ridiculous in terms of stability damage. Finally, guys, we have here Sumi. So we will be off with her basic attack. Basic attack has 3 stability damage, definitely above average. Next is going to be her active one. Her active one has 4 stability damage alone. But as you read her kit, for each allied unit within 6 tiles, increase stability damage by 1 point. So, if you count, let's say for example, in a team of 4, that is +3 if they are within 6 tiles. So, if you do the math, that's 3 plus 4, that is 7 already. So, if the target is in stability break after the skill is used, recovers 2 points of stability for herself. This is ridiculous, and this is why my tactic in the previous video that I made was actually very, very nice, because when they're bunched up, she benefits from it the best. Okay, and the next one is going to be her ultimate. So her ultimate is selects 1 empty tile within 6 tiles, dealing fixed damage equal to 50% to all enemy targets within 3 tiles, applying 3 stacks of avalanche. Okay, take note that avalanche already actually is a stackable buff if you are in a freeze team, and if this is triggered when it reaches 5 stacks, take 8 fixed stability damage. I think anybody who is going to be in the the area vicinity of avalanche, they're going to be taking 8 fixed stability damage, and this is considered a freeze debuff. That is insane. Okay, and also restores HP to 30% of Sumi's max HP, 6 stability points, cleanses 1 debuff, and cleanses the effect of taunt. Again, these are all ridiculous add-ons. And just to make sure that we don't have any more stability damage here, we don't, because that is a lot of abilities, and more or less this one is going to be hitting like an avalanche, really, if you do have if you can stack these, especially with other members of a freeze team. Okay, and the last one is going to be her passive. So at the end of the action, gains 2 points of Confectance Index, restores 5% of Sumi's max HP to other units within 6 tiles. If the target's HP is below 50%, increase the amount to restore to 10. When allied units, excluding Sumi, use basic attack skills, Sumi applies 1 stack of Avalanche to a random enemy within 6 tiles. And that is actually insane. When an enemy unit within range takes targeted damage from an ally, prioritizes using action support. So she does have a support function, dealing physical damage equal to 80% of the attack and 3 stability damage. So as she does action support, she also does 3 ability damage to that specific target. Again, her kit is very insane. It's all stacked, and that concludes, guys, our list of girls that have great stability break. Okay, so what do you think of the list, guys? Comment down in the comment section. Please do remind me if I missed somebody who is also good in stability break. I will add to this list in future videos if we do have other units that or girls that come in that are good with stability break as well. Again, guys, thank you very much for staying this far. Take care, stay safe. This is the Warden, and I'm out of here.